Hi, Dumpster Divas. Welcome to another Dumpster Dive live. It's been a minute since I've been live, and I feel like it was the appropriate time to hop on and gab with everyone because there's so much happening this weekend at BravoCon. I am not at BravoCon, as you can see. I'm not there. I don't know that it's my journey. I can't decide. It's so funny. Like, there are aspects of it that I want, and there are aspects of it that really overwhelm me. Being around that many Bravo celebrities, I think would overwhelm me emotionally. The appeal to me is less the Bravo lebs and more y'all. Like, if we all got to like hang out, go have a drink and catch up, gossip, talk about the shows we love, like do like a live show there, like that all sounds that sounds like a blast to me. Just getting to like meet you guys and hang out, which in hindsight we could also just do that. I could organize that. But you know what I'm saying, like engaging with fans and fans of the shows, not of this podcast, but that sounds like a blast. I just don't know if I want to be around all the panels and stuff. I love being on my couch watching them. But I would love to hear y'all's thoughts. Also, Vegas is not my journey. I would have gone when it was in New York, but I just didn't have the money because I was deeply unemployed at that time. And Bravo follows me, but they don't give me things. So, and that's okay. One day, maybe. But there's so much going on, obviously, in the Bravoverse. I'm recording this. I'm going live right now. This will also be available to stream and listen to on your podcast platform. Make sure to subscribe to the Dumpster Dive YouTube channel if you're watching this back at a different point. I got a lot going on over there. There are tons of videos where we're recapping strictly Real Houses of Salt Lake City on the channel, as well as some deep dives. I know I keep promising deep dives. They will be returning at some point. I just have to get my shit together. I'm in a transitional mode right now of some life things, so trying to stay diligent about our SLC recaps. Also, go subscribe to my other podcast, Good Judy's, and then maybe some more lives and some deep dives. But once again, video can be found on YouTube and on Spotify. So, if we want to, I think we should let's start with trailers. So, we'll get to some more BravoCon inner workings here in a second, but I want to start with some trailers because the SLC mid-season trailer was dropped before BravoCon. The Real Houses of Beverly Hills trailer was also dropped before BravoCon. During BravoCon, we got the Real Housewives of Potomac mid-season trailer. We also got the official announcement, as well as the trailer for The Valley Persian Style. Still wish we had gone with a different name, but here we are. Let's start with SLC. So the SLC mid-season trailer, biggest takeaways here is that we get this like church service with Mary. Allegedly, that is happening this next episode, and Andy Cohen says it is the greatest. It's in his top 10 Housewives episodes of all time. So that is something of note, I would say, don't you think? So I mean, it's crazy to think that we are so far into the season and we've just now gotten to the greatest episode. I'm like, this crossover wasn't the greatest episode. Like, that all is so hilarious to me. I mean, it's baffling, really. Like, we haven't gotten to the good stuff yet. The good stuff is still ahead of us, so that is incredibly exciting. So that's featured in the trailer, as well as this trip they do to Greece. More costumes, more fighting, more drunken antics, and it looks fun. It looks great. I think we have some drama coming up with Daddy John Barlow. Daddy John Barlow kind of puts his money where his mouth is. No, that's not the right phrase. He gives it to Lisa. Deservedly so. I believe she seems to be a terrible communicator, so that does happen. And yeah, that's kind of all of the SLC trailer. The Real Houses of Beverly Hills trailer. Once again, we got that before BravoCon. This one, I'm always hesitant with a Beverly Hills trailer because they love to put a music behind it. It's like dun 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 dun, and it's like just the one dramatic moment that happened. Um, so there was some drama. The aesthetics, Rachel Zoe to me has just an effortless like swag. You know what I mean? Like she wears just the most. It's a very the row Mary Kate and Ashley like. I'm brittle skin and bones, and I just drape furs over me. Which, you know what, it looks good on them. That's not my journey. I like a little more body, but it works for them, and I'm excited to see her just kind of like walk onto set in Beverly Hills and engage with these ladies. She was on a panel with the Beverly Hills cast and mentions that I think she's a good addition because she mentions she's known Kathy for like 30 years. She's known Kyle on and off through all that. She's known Sutton for a long time, and she's known Bose too. So like she already has pre-existing relationships with these ladies, which that's how we enter in. Now this other woman, her name is like a basic name. Now I nothing for basic names, but I just can't remember her name. It's like Nicole, Rachel. What is it? No, we have Rachel, but what is it? I'll find it. We have another new woman who seems to be the center of a lot of the drama, which I like to hear. And let me just find her because I did do some digging. Wait, new cast member, Amanda. Amanda. See, I told you it was a basic name. Amanda. So Amanda Francis. Now she is wait, and everyone needs to go look up Amanda Francis's website because her job title, and I don't know if this is how she got to where she is financially, but she is, well, you know what? Why don't we just, on YouTube, I can share my screen and we can go over this together because shout out to Kara Berry because Kara really brought this to the forefront. And it shocked me. Here we go. Okay. I hope you guys can see. Oh, well, now you can't see me. There we go. Look how cute this is. Just me and Amanda. So Amanda, this is her website. We're already off to a crazy start because what is happening here? So much is happening here. Now she is a thought leader. Now I just struggle with what that means. Like so she's a self-made multimillionaire, thought leader, best-selling author, repetitive, unrealistic goal achiever, podcaster, and money queen. What the hell? Y'all, these are some of the most made up job titles I've ever heard. Now, here's the thing. I am working on being an advocate for myself. I'm not good at advocating for my work. I'm not good at advocating for what I can do. I'm just a little too realistic. I'm a little too realistic about what it is I can't do. This lady, she is a little too realistic. She's a little too unrealistic about what she is because all these things are made up words. These are repetitive, unrealistic goal achiever. She just put some words together on that. So now, essentially, what she does is it's called like the vibe check or something. Courses. She has one called like it's vibes. It's like be vibe with your money. Regardless, look at all these AI. Well, these aren't AI. This is Canva. Shout out to Canva producing this whole show right now. But like this is so crazy. Best year ever. Self-published. Show the fuck up. Sell from your soul. These are courses. If you're listening to this, we're looking at thumbnails of courses that she does. Course creation, queen number 2. What does that mean? Turning shit into gold. Money mama, a course on having it all. It's like these are not really things. Like nothing here makes any sense. Oh, this is it. The Vibe membership. This is what I was thinking of. The Vibe. A Money Queen membership. The Vibe. a Money Queen membership. Hello, my love. So I may not know you personally, but I'm not going to read all of this. But essentially, what it is like you can text. She will text you every day, being like, "Yeah, money's gonna be there. Shout out, you got this." And it's like, this feels like a scam to me. That's essentially the rundown of it. Guys, I'm so sorry. We keep having issues where we keep getting pulled off of YouTube. We should be back on YouTube now. I don't know. I don't know how that happened. Um, we should be back. For the on-demand version of this, I'll make sure it's edited down and makes sense. But I'm back. Sorry, I was talking about the Real Houses of Potomac mid-season trailer. So in the end of the mid-season trailer, we get two big moments. One is we get to sit down with Eddie and Wendy, where they essentially are addressing the fact that they got arrested and these alleged charges are up. And we just get a clip of Eddie going, "We've gone through a lot in our lives together." And when he says, "How do you think this is going to affect our marriage?" And then they just embrace. You know, I have complicated feelings about it because if they did do it, that's terrible. I don't really see a world in which they didn't do it. I mean, allegedly, I just don't really understand how we got here unintentionally. So that is something that troubles me. So I don't know what's going to be next for these two, but it's crazy to me that we got. I didn't realize they picked up cameras for it. So because that happened not that long ago, and this is already in the trailer. So that's a quick turnaround. And then lastly, most importantly, we did get a clip of a sit down between Andy and Karen in her home. And Andy says to Karen, "Here we are, you're a free woman." And Karen says, "It's time to talk about my addiction." I'm proud of her for talking about it. I think that that's something that the cast has been trying to allude to for a while. And I hope that she is on the up and up and doing better because addiction is really scary. Really scary. So our heart is with Karen. And then lastly, we got the Valley Persian style trailer. Now, I am not a Shaws of Sunset girl. I watched the first 3 seasons, 3 seasons. But I didn't really keep up with it. I don't. I don't have anything against them. I don't. I like the. I liked the show. It just. Every time I watch it, I'm like, this is great. It just wasn't my show. But I will absolutely watch this. I will absolutely watch this. I find MJ and Reza and Gigi all incredible television personalities. So this will be great. Especially Galnessa. She is cuckoo banunu. So yeah, I'm excited. And then those are all of our trailers. So let's kind of dive a little bit more into highlights from BravoCon. So once again, guys, I am recording this on Sunday. It is currently 8 a.m. in Las Vegas. So they have not even started day 3 yet. I am positive there's going to be some more things on the pipeline today, some more announcements. I think at the end of today's BravoCon, or at the end of the Watch What Happens live taping or something tonight, we're either going to get a trailer for the Real Housewives of Rhode Island, or we're going to get a cast announcement and like have them come out on stage like they did in the last New York City BravoCon, where they brought out the women of New York. So I do think that is probably on the docket for the end of today. I would be shocked if it wasn't. Now, this also brings me to another thing that, you know, we were hearing on the blogs that is going to happen, but then Andy keeps debunking it there in BravoCon in person. And that is that we're getting either a Real Houses of New York or Real Housewives of New Jersey announcement at the end of BravoCon. Be that casting, trailer. Oh, no, there's no trailer. They haven't filmed. But casting, kind of when are we returning, all that. But he keeps saying that there's nothing. That New Jersey casting isn't done. That New York casting is almost done. And then on a panel with Jeff Lewis, more on that in a second, he also says that, you know, the rumors of a blended cast of New York are not true. And so that blended cast was allegedly going to be Carol, Luann, Dorinda, Sonia, Cy, Aaron, and Jessel. Which I think that's a good cast. Like I think that's a show. To me, that's a show. But I don't. It seems that that's not going to happen. Kristen, hi, Kristen, hi, Kristen. Kristen says that Dolores looked great yesterday. I agree. Dolo looked fabulous as always. Um, so yeah, let's talk about Jeff a little bit. So Jeff Lewis and Andy had a panel. Andy always has a like sit down with Andy panel where someone interviews him and he just gives answers about Bravo programming, all that stuff. And this year he sat down with Jeff Lewis. And Jeff, at the beginning of it, I believe they announced that Jeff would be returning to Bravo with, I think it's called like Still Flipping Out or something like that. Now, I also was not a big flipping out person. Like I didn't watch it religiously, but I watched it when it was on. So like it was always on like reruns when I was in high school and whenever I'd be home from college, and I would catch it then, but I was not a flipping out like super fan. I do genuinely know all the characters in the drama that unfolded there, but I wasn't like a diehard in it. So yeah, that's coming back. But then they have an interesting interview, and him and Andy always have like a bit of a will they, won't they either make out, bone, or get in a fist fight energy. Like they have a sexual tension and also like a, I want to fire you, I hate your guts tension. So that was obviously there. And then an SLC question comes up and Andy brings up Monica. And Jeff Lewis said something about how he was like, oh God, what is she up to? Didn't her food stamps just run out? Essentially referencing SNAP benefits not being inactive right now, and that since she's unemployed and doesn't have money. Oh, it was because she came up because he was like, I'm so tired of these housewives that don't have money, like Monica, for instance, and that's why he brought up the SNAP benefits thing. That did not go over well online, I believe in person. Andy was visibly angry. This all comes after Jeff's show is announced. And I feel that Andy's like, you fucking idiot. Like, why would you say that? Like, there are things that are like, we can be shady about and be haha. And maybe some people get offended, but like, you can be like, loosen up. That's not funny. SNAP benefits are a real hot topic right now. People are losing everything they have because of our fucking government. I just don't think that's something that we can laugh about, especially as Jeff, who is a multi-millionaire real estate tycoon and radio personality who has never, well, not never, in recent years has yet to have any like financial struggles. So like it's just a weird place. There's a privilege of he always knows where his food is, you know, and there are people that don't, and it's just fucked up. Fucked up. But I'm not really a Jeff person. But Jeff, if you want me on your show, I would happily do it. Hee hee. So yeah, that was the Jeff and Andy panel. And oh, this is actually a good point. Wait, I'm gonna highlight this on the stream. Kristen says Jeff bragged more about money in a mean way than Heather talking about her PJ. It is funny. So yeah, because Jeff says that Heather is like the most gaudy, tactless, rich housewife who's such a little dick, offset, like all this. And in hindsight, it's like, well, Jeff, all you do is talk about how much better you are because of your wealth. Yeah, I totally agree with that, Kristen. So let's dive into a couple other announcements that happened. We had the Valley panel, which shout out to Danny Pellegrino, friend of the pod. We love Danny. I'm trying to get Danny on the show. Danny and I are kind of online friends, but we're trying to figure out some time to record together because we love Danny. And Danny is doing a wonderful job moderating. Two things he moderated. One was the Valley panel. The Valley cast is a little too media trained for my liking. Like if the Vanderpump Rules cast of like 2018 was up on that stage, people would be blackout, people would be screaming, people would be, and you know what? I'm here for it. This gaggle though, they're all so media savvy right now, and they're like, you'll have to wait to see what happens on the next season. It's like, no, just give us something. Fight, do something. So they weren't really bringing much to the table except one announcement, which was that we are getting two full-time cast members new, Lala Kent and Tom Schwartz. I why Lala? I used to be a Lala super fan, and God, she lost me a couple years ago, and I just can't stand the woman now. And I just her her black scent, her girl. The woman is from Utah, Lauren from Utah, as our friend Zell likes to say. And Schwartz, I don't. I'm not even a Schwartz hater. I hated how he treated Katie, but like I'm just like a Schwartz is like a non-entity to me. Um, he's just in the boys' club that seemingly can get away with everything, and Lisa Vanderpump is just like, and boys will be boys. Like, she's just so annoying about it. So I'm mixed about it. I would love to hear y'all's reactions. Yeah, Kristen says they can just be friends of. I agree. Like, I don't really know why we are featuring them so heavily. So that's kind of my thought on that. The other panel that Andy. Okay, so some backstory here. The day before BravoCon, Page Six's shady ass. Shout out to Evan and Danny. But wait, yeah, Evan and Danny from the Page Six radio podcast, Sirius XM show, and virtual reality podcast. They shared a story that Amanda and Kyle are not in a good place. And then they head off to BravoCon. So allegedly, I heard that Amanda has her own apartment in the city. It doesn't sound good. Does not sound good. And the energy isn't good either. They're both answering a lot of questions about it, and it's just not great. Now, Danny Pellegrino, our Lord and Savior, was doing the Lord's work, and at the Traders panel asked Sierra if essentially if Kyle was a traitor or a faithful based on recent news. And Danielle, thank you. Danielle says, I love the glasses. Thank you. These are I've always had them. I just don't always wear them. I like wear my Dahmers more, but no, when asked about Kyle and Amanda, Sierra was like, you are being shady for that. Stop. And essentially kind of got into it with Danny on the Traders panel over it, which, you know what? I'm sorry. Danny was doing the Lord's work on that. And yeah, so the energy has been a little weird. I didn't watch the Summer House panel yet. Once again, if you want to watch any of these panels, they are on Peacock. I mean, I'm not sponsored by Peacock here, but like you can go see them. That's where I've been watching them and just catching updates online. So yeah, that was what happened there. Let's see, what else do we have here? So on our second night of I think the Watch It Happens Live that filmed on Friday night, we got the news live that Vicki Gunvalson will be returning as a full-time housewife to the Real Houses of Orange County season 20. Now, I'm not a Vicki defender. She is a problematic icon to me. She is absolutely on the other side of pretty much any policy issue than me. But you know what? That's not why I watch these shows. I think it only makes sense that she would be here for the 20th season. I kind of think this is a little overdue, to be honest. It feels crazy to me that we are still working with Emily and Gina when Vicki is just literally there not being filmed. It just doesn't quite make sense to me, but I welcome it. I'm curious with season 20. I feel that they need to have like cameos from Gina Keogh, more Joe cameos. Alexis maybe comes back for a scene. Like we need to really, I know that the show needs to be authentic, but it also needs to feel like a real tipping of the hat to the Housewives franchises. It just needs to be a good season. It is the 20th season of the pillar of this this thing we call Housewives. I just want it to be good, and I welcome. I'm excited for Vicky. She has been begging for it, quite literally. So, yeah, excited for Vicky. Also, let's see what else is going on here. Oh, let's talk about the Gorga Judice situation. So, Melissa and Teresa and Joe, I guess, made up before BravoCon. Now, all of the interactions at BravoCon, well, they do feel genuine. The timing doesn't feel genuine. Like, I think the photos, they don't appear to be like pretending to be happy. I see that there is genuine reconciliation there. It feels like it. I don't think they're that good of actors to just pretend. The timing of it just is weird. They could have reconciled months ago or even weeks ago and posted about it and then showed up to BravoCon like everything was normal. But instead, they're doing it all on the weekend of BravoCon. And it's so clear that they have a PR team that's like, okay, you're going to get a photo this night. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. You're going to do that. Now, they then at a different panel, it was at the Traders panel. Danny, once again. Dolo said she believes that their reconciliation is real, but she was like, I personally want to be back on the Real Houses of New Jersey. And if they are reconciled and if we move forward as a cast, like, I do not want to ever again speak about whatever y'all's issues are with each other, because it has been a lifelong chore to have to answer questions, have to be nice to both sides, have to do all of it when I don't care. I don't care. And you know what? I fucking love Dolo for that, because she's like, I'm fucking over it. I want to do this show that I love. I want to be with the girls that I want to hang out with. And like, y'all, what? Stop. The whole last two seasons, I mean, the whole series, but the whole last two seasons have been clouded by this Louis marriage and the downfall of Teresa's relationship with Joe. And it's like, okay, so all of that was for nothing. Teresa just wants to be back on the show, and so do the Gorgas. Honestly, I think the Gorgas have a more clear path forward than Teresa. Teresa, to me, with Louis, doesn't have a path forward on this show. I'm sorry, I just don't see it. I think Louis is a loose cannon. I think that he has some stuff there, and I just think that it's only going to make this reconciliation harder to maintain if Louis is in the mix with the cameras there, because he's a little fame hungry. So my vote is bring back Melissa, Margaret, Dolores, and Jen Fessler, and then add in 4 new women. That's it. That's the show. That is the show. So yeah, Kristen says they did say that they did it for the daughters. I don't think they did it for their kids. The kids don't really like to hang out with each other anymore, all because of their bullshit. Also we also got Candy received a Lifetime Achievement Award. Very happy for Candy. I love Candy so deeply. Another lol, Tom Sandoval. This Traders panel was crazy, I guess, allegedly, but Tom Sandoval was asked if he would be interested in joining the next season of The Valley. Tom said he would be interested in joining the next season of The Valley, and the entire audience booed. Oh boy. Speaking of booing, you know who's getting a lot of boos this weekend? One Lisa Barlow. What a mess. I guess she went on stage in that first Watch What Happens Live, and they something about like who was going to spread stories the most, and everyone screamed Lisa, and then there's another instance where everyone just started booing her, and it's crazy. Also, I think overall Mary and Carol Radswell have been like the hits of the weekend. Carol Radswell being there is so fun to see her in the mix with the girls again, and Mary just her star continues to rise despite certain podcasters participating in TLC shitty docs about her cult. I think she probably does run a cult, but you know what? If you have to go over to TLC to film it, me thinks that you don't have a lot of good stuff there. If there was an HBO Max tell all about Mary Cosby, I would be like, you know what? There is definitely new news here. I'm sorry. Shout out to TLC. I love your content, but I just don't trust that the TLC Mary Cosby doc is going to provide new information that we don't already know. I mean, we already know about all the shady shit. So still she rises. Still she rises. Well, let's get into some questions. If you guys have questions, put them in the chat. I also had you guys send over some stuff on Instagram, so I have that as well. And let me look at some. Give me 1 second. And this can be about BravoCon. It can be about Salt Lake City. It can be about my life. Anything you want. Anything you want. We have Kristen asks, what are you having the most FOMO for with BravoCon? There are so many creators that I've met only through this medium, like Dakota, Dakota from Chili's Orders, that Dakota. And who else? Other creators. Hannah Brown. You know, I've never met Hannah Brown in person. We just are friends through our phones. We text all the time, and she's there. And Samantha Bush, Bravo historian, we have hung out in person recently, which there is another day, not today. I had dinner with Samantha, Andrea Lopez. And Andrea Lopez does the Teresa impressions. She's a hilarious comedian. Go follow her if you don't, and follow her show Big Wigs. But we had dinner, and something crazy happened at dinner that I need one of them here with me to unpack. But we had a server that was really needy, and him and I had an interaction that I haven't stopped thinking about. So but yeah, just the creators. Chris De La Rosa, who I love so dearly, but we don't get to hang out that much in the city. He's there. It's Chris. Wait, it's not De La Rosa. Oh my God, what is his last name? Regardless, yeah, that's just creators that I love, and I want to kind of be with y'all. So that's like the big FOMO that I'm having. Let's see, another question. What do you think Meredith did on the plane? I think that Meredith was just shaking that goddamn chair and screaming at her and sloshing Chardonnay all over her, and she probably smelled like Chardonnay. Kendrick asks, what city would have to host BravoCon for you to attend? He says, parentheses, nowhere for me. Yeah, Vegas is not where I want to go. Where I would go to Palm Springs. I would go to Dallas. That's my home. I would go to Salt Lake City because I've never been. I would go to New York. If it came back to New York, I would go again. Or I would go if it was in New York. I think that's it. I'm trying to think of anything else. I think those are the spots. Would love your thoughts on Potomac, Lala, and Shorts during the Valley. Yeah, we already talked about that. I have mixed emotions on that. You know, we haven't really talked about Potomac on the show because I've been recapping Salt Lake City, but I am loving the season of Potomac. I am truly lolling throughout. I think it's a really great season. And you know, Karen, I miss Karen, but these girls are caring, and Stacy is wonderful. Chicago Reality Gal asks, what's the deal with Teresa, Louis, and Joe Hug? Are they making up so New Jersey can move forward? Once again, I have to say I think so. I think that is the case. Kristen says the Creator Con seemed fun. I'd love to meet you all. I know it did seem fun. I heard some people went and had a blast. So yeah, there's tons of creators that I would love to chat with. My only thing though is I'm not great at networking. I'm not great at like being like, you should subscribe to my show. That's not for me. I just want to go and chat. I want to gab. I want to have a drink. I want to like giggle, laugh, talk about the stuff we love to talk about. So I'm not great at the mingling. I'm better at the like, let's just chat. Let's just be girls. Y'all are my girls. That kind of wraps up everything. I mean, we've covered a lot of BravoCon news. I know I'm going to miss some BravoCon news, but we will be back with a new episode of the podcast this week. It will come out a little bit later. Oh, Bitch Sesh had a meetup too. I know. Y'all know I'm a Bitch Sesh fan from, I literally was listening since the beginning, the very beginning in 2015, 2016. So those girls are the reason I love Housewives so much. I mean, I've been watching before then, but still, they're the reason. They're the reason for the season. Shout out to Casey and Danielle. But yeah, that kind of wraps us up. So this week we have an episode of Salt Lake City coming out, a recap with Louis Peitzman. So get excited for that. Troy McKeedy will also be back on soon. Dakota from Chili's Orders will also be back on soon. I say that with love. And yeah, a couple other guests on the pipeline. I'm trying to get a Real Housewife of Salt Lake City for the end of the season. I'm working on a couple, so let me know. Let me know what you think about that. I kind of get scared when I mingle, but we've had so much fun with these Salt Lake City recaps. And y'all, I have to say thank you so much. The numbers on all of streams have been really so high, and it makes me so happy. So not that I do this just to see that, but like it is nice to see that people are excited about consuming the content. And if you are new to my show, please go subscribe at on your podcast platform in addition to YouTube on any of those, and also follow me at the Tom Hamlet. You can also check out my other show, Good Judy's, and let me know if there are things we should be chatting about that we're not. Also, I'm gonna stick to this structure of covering one season of a show. I like it better. It's better for my brain. I feel like the content is better. I feel like we're creating much more lulls by just focusing in on one moment. So I don't want to say that that's going to be Beverly Hills. That feels a little scary. I would love to do an Atlanta season. That one's coming up soon. But yeah, let me know what y'all's thoughts are about what you want covered next, and I will chat with you all soon. We're gonna play some outro music. And you do say, Kristen says she missed my lives. Lives should be back on a more regular basis. Once again, I was training for the marathon, and then I went on vacation after I ran the marathon. So I have just settled in this week back to normalcy. So maybe we'll get some more lives on. Okay, well, follow me, subscribe, do all those things. I'm gonna play some music. We're gonna jam out to that, and I will see y'all later. Bye.